Hey, what's up, guys? How are you? Happy Thanksgiving. It is 5:30 in the morning on Black Friday. And, I'm still awake. Haven't really been able to fall back to sleep because I kind of woke up late today because I slept in for the first time in a while. And now I'm dealing with the dilemma that I haven't been able to fall asleep. But lucky for me that a lot of the Black Friday deals and a lot of the Black Friday things that we usually try to obtain when they're really good, reasonable deals, I don't have to really worry about going out and getting them today. So as you can see here, these are Black Friday early pickups that started, to be honest with you, early in the month with GameStop. It's almost like they try to do pre-Black Friday deals since the beginning of November. And so these are some of those pickups. These are also regular monthly pickups, and these are also deals, like I said, that we got with Black Friday prices since beginning of November. And I kind of want to share it with you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the little unboxings and videos of what I picked up. We might get a couple other things sprinkled here and there, and if we do, I guess I'll add them later on and do another video. But for now, this is what we have. As you can see, it's a nice amount, but they had fantastic prices. And one thing that I try to pass as far as the messaging in my videos is physical media is very important, because only in the physical media realm do you actually get the real quality of movies and games in a lot of situations. Because on the disc, everything's bit for bit with the 100% sound quality, the 100% HDR format that's implemented, or whatever the case may be, which a lot of times you cannot convey with a streaming service, or even on something like Game Pass, because some games won't support certain things like Dolby Vision HDR, which is HDR12, or something like actual native 4K, for whatever reason, because of the fact that it's probably expensive, so they don't put it or add it on. But when you get it in this form, most of the time you end up getting all of those features, right? Or those features included. With movies, 100% that's the case, or actually 1000%, because with movies you will never get the 100% accurate picture quality than you do with 4K DVDs. Everything from the resolution to the HDR, that's without question. And I've tested numerous times with good streaming quality services like Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and even Netflix, because those are the top tier. And with, the actual disc, and it still never matches. And a lot of people don't realize that just because it says 4K on YouTube and certain things, you're really not seeing it in 4K. You're actually seeing it downscaled to about 2K. And it still looks amazing, don't get me wrong, it looks fantastic. But when you watch it in the 100% native format, in native 4K, it really shines on the TV that you have and the equipment, and that's when you actually see the quality of what it offers. So that's why I'm a big proponent of physical, just like you never lose it, because it's yours, you take care of it, it's something that stays with you as long as you take care of it, and as long as it's in your possession, in your life. It's not going to get lost, obviously, because you have it, organized a specific way. It's not going to get corrupted, because you're supposed to know by now, and you're supposed to have it in good room temperature. You're supposed to take care of it by cleaning it off periodically, every so 1 month or so. Dust them off, make sure everything's fine and clean. And it 100% most of the time will not get ruined if you know how to take care of it. As opposed to when it's digital, it's super convenient in so many ways and so appealing. But if a license is messed around with, tampered with, if you lose, let's say some type of if you lose your password, or your account gets corrupted or gets hacked or anything like that, it's over. Whatever you spend, whatever money you spent, whatever games you had are gone. You have to rebuy them again because there's no way to prove what you had, and there's no way to look at the history of what you had, especially if your account gets compromised. Does that happen all the time? Absolutely not, but it can, and it has. And the fact that it does and it can is very scary, to say the least, because we spend thousands and thousands of dollars in these games. But anyway, enough of me talking and rambling in a way. Just wanted to give you a little bit of insight on why we are such big proponents of physical, which you probably heard me before when I do the podcast with the fellas. Big shout outs to The Exile. Big shout outs to my brother Sega for ever with his podcast, right? The Wrecking Crew. Unlimited with The Unlimited Truth. 100 with, Xbox Has No Games. And obviously these Sega Outlaws, or the Xbox Outlaws with my brother, Sega Man, and the Lions Den with Talkmaster, and the New Legal with Direct Gaming Podcast. So many good guys, real Xbox guys, and do good work. If you heard me when I've been on there, and you see me on there, you probably heard me say it many, many, many times. So let's get right into it. Sit back, relax, enjoy a digital drink, and hopefully you'll stay to the end and see the entire pickups. This is a Black Friday, early Black Friday pickups deal video with also, latest pickups combined. So I'll see you guys in the blink of an eye. So here we are, guys. Let's start off the video. So we're going to start off with the games that we actually picked up at GameStop earlier this month. And they had very, very fantastic deals. First one we picked up was Metroid Dread. And Metroid Dread, you guys know, has been priced at $60 since the very beginning. So we got our hands on Metroid Dread on that deal for $18. So because it was $18, I said now is the time, because it's the cheapest that we've ever seen it. And that's what we end up getting. So Metroid Dread was part of that Black Friday, early Black Friday GameStop deal. The next game we picked up, my son, was a copy of Man Eater, the Apex Edition, which is nice to see a game of this stature being a smaller indie game available on Xbox physical. And as you can see, it's still shrink wrapped. And the reason for that is because my son doesn't like opening the games until he gets to try them. And since he has it digitally, he hasn't opened it. But he does have Man Eater. And Man Eater was, I believe, I think it was $10. Moving right along, the other game we got was the Lord of the Rings Gollum. And a lot of people said this game was terrible. I personally do not know because I haven't been able to try it because it's, again, in shrink wrap. My son wanted it. It's from Nacon, right, the publishers. And supposedly it's a disaster. But, again, you see there, it tells you the functionalities from smart delivery to 4K Ultra HD, HDR10, 60 frames per second, just to give you an idea. And again, maybe it is, maybe it's not, but at least for the price of $10 that GameStop had it, it's a nice way to add it to the collection, not feeling like you really took a big risk, and hopefully will end up being at the very least, decent. So the next game we have is the remastered of Destroy All Humans 2. And this is the Repurbed edition. Black Forest and THQ Nordic were the developers and publishers Awesome cover, wonderful. I believe it's the same cover with the original game. This was an OG Xbox and PS2 game, but it's fully remastered and it has a lot of nice things. You know, it says optimized for Series X and S, co-op mode, right, and 4K Ultra HD, and it also supports 60 frames per second. And this game was also $10. So as you can see, the theme so far is the games were $10 and sometimes even under. Here is Sword Art Online, and this is the Alazation Lucoris edition. And again, Japanese games that come out that may not be big, and this is by publisher Namco Bandai, right? And at least they were good, kind enough to bring it out physical, and you can play it. This is an Xbox One X version. It supposedly supports 4K, HDR10, and co-op mode online and single player. So, it's a turn-based RPG, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. It might be free roam, I'm not sure 100%, but all in all, it's still a series that usually tends to predominantly be on PlayStation and Nintendo, and it's nice to see that they brought it out to Xbox, and that they brought out this version of the game, or this entry in the series of the Sword Art series, physical for Xbox. And this was, I believe, $7.99, if I'm not mistaken. It was $7.99. So, moving right along, we got here the DreamWorks Dragons animated movie is in video game form. As you can see, it supports Xbox Series X and S, and this is the Legend of the Nine Realms. And I believe a 3D platformer in the vein of Spyro the Dragon, based off the characters from the movie. And you see what it says there: optimized for Xbox Series X and S, 4K Ultra, single player, smart delivery. And you see that the discs are in there, right? And this game was also, I believe, either $8.99 or $10. And we picked this up also at GameStop with that same haul. And next we have here another game we picked up on that GameStop haul, and that is Star Trek Prodigy, the Supernova edition, I guess. And this is by OG Outright Games, right? Which publish smaller titles. And this is like a top-down action-adventure hack and slash, I guess, in that realm. And you see that it says it supports optimized for Xbox Series X and S, co-op mode, single mode, 4K, HDR10. And this game was also like $7.99 or something like that. And it was sealed in case. So, just to show you, the game is in there, like so. So, this was also a GameStop pickup. The next game we have is not a GameStop pickup, but this is the latest pickup, and it is none other than the brand new release by Nacon, and this is only on Series X and PS5 and PC. This is RoboCop Rogue City, and this game has become the little pleasant surprise or hidden gem, if you will, of this year. You see, it's Ultra 4K HD, optimization, HDR10, 60 frames per second, impulse triggers. It's one of the few games that actually uses the impulse triggers on the Xbox, which is the same thing as that haptic feedback that you get on PS5, which people love to act like it's something that only exists on PS5, but it's not. So, very plain, didn't come with much, but this game has become, like I said, a very pleasant surprise, and I recommend it to everybody because especially if you're a RoboCop fan, because it's very nostalgic and very respectful to the source material. And what you might not have known, there's a physical copy available. Next we have another recent pickup, and that is the new Sonic Superstars. Brand new entry from Sega in the Sonic's 2D side-scrolling adventure and series with amazing and wonderful graphics, doing a throwback and nod with the gameplay style of the original Sonic the Hedgehog when it debuted on Genesis. This is Series X and Series X and S and Xbox One compatible. As you can see there, it also says smart delivery, co-op, online features, 4K, 60 frame. The game looks absolutely beautiful. In many ways, like I told people, it looks more elegant and colorful and a lot more detailed than than Mario Wonder. And people just don't want to hear that, but it is the truth. It does look really, really good. And another thing that's great is that Sega brought out a physical copy for Xbox, which, sometimes doesn't happen. This is a Black Friday, early Black Friday sale, and this is the brand new Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, I guess it's the remaster or reimagined, right? You see this as a cross-gen edition. It's an Xbox One, Xbox Series X game, but it does play and perform based off the specs of each dedicated console and offers the best it can on each respective console. So the Series X version will look the most superior, or the PS5 version, compared to the PS4 or the Xbox One version. And you do see it says there, 4K, up to 64 players online, cross-play, and Dolby Atmos support, which is Ultra 4K surround sound, which is something that a lot of games do not support. So it's cool that it's in here because on the disc. And I believe when you apply it digitally, I don't think it has Dolby Atmos support. I could be wrong, but I believe it doesn't. And this was only, I believe my son paid $15 or something like that. It was in Target, I know that. So it was a really good price for Black Friday. So there you go. Then we have next, the brand new, and this is me, I bought, because the first one was actually fun, cheap, and, it's a, licensed game, not something to write home about, but, it serves its purpose. It's a lot of fun. It's quick and easy. You get some nice achievements really fast, not too challenging, and sometimes they are challenging. This is a cross-gen as well, and it's none other than the sequel, Jumanji Wild Adventures. Really nice cover from Outright Games, which are the publishers. And again, something that you see digitally in the digital store that you might not think and might not know is available physical, but it is. And it does support optimization for the Series X. It does have a co-op mode, and it's a top-down 3D isometric beat-em-up hack and slash. That's basically what it is. Beat-em-up side-scroller. And then you see it says 4K Ultra HD. And this I bought for a whopping $25 with some specials and sales that they had in my early Black Friday sales in Best Buy. So that's where I got this. And nice again to know that they have a physical copy for Xbox, even though it's a smaller, not so probably attractive game. Now, this my son bought for $27.99 from GameStop. This was brand new when it released, and it's none other than the Xbox version of Stray. This was originally a PS4 and 5 exclusive. People were swearing up and down it wouldn't come. Then they shadow dropped and said it was coming. Made the announcement, showed the trailer, and they were kind enough again to give us and grace us with a physical copy, and it was not only available for PlayStation. So Stray was bought at GameStop by my son. You see, it supports smart delivery for Series X, single player, and 4K Ultra graphics. And so far, it's a pretty pleasant surprise. It has a nice, dark, kind of sad story, and good gameplay. And this is basically a modern day platform in 3D, and it's really, really good thus far. So Stray for Xbox, and it's available in physical, which a lot of people may, again, like I said, may or may not know. My son got this a little bit before the Rogue and the Jumanji and the Stray, but he got this in GameStop as well. He bought it, I believe, it was brand new. It was the one edition that came with the little Hot Wheel car, and he loves this series, and that is Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged Pure Fire. Beautiful cover. Comes in a nice big box deluxe with other stuff in it. And this is a guilty pleasure for my son. And you see optimized there for Xbox Series X, 4K, multiplayer online. Really, really fun game. And this was, I believe, $40. I think he got this from GameStop as well. So, if you didn't know it was available physical, there it is. There's a physical version for those who might be interested. Now, my son got this. This is a recent pickup. And this was none other than Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. And this game is got to be the biggest piece of trash or disappointment of this year. Because although it does play well, it's doing so much things to disrespect and insult not only the series, the character, the lore, but it's super duper woke, only pushing agendas with gay or transgenders or women, feminism or fascism, or that, men are pigs, white people or white men are dog and they're crap. It's just, they're even pushing, the language of the Hispanic language, changing it into the propaganda, using words that we don't even use, like Latinx, because it's bull crap. We don't use that. We don't agree with that. But nonetheless, he bought it. He supported it. It is the PS5 edition, as you see there. I don't know what kind of features it offers, but according to this, it supports 4K and HDR. So that is Spider-Man 2. And this he paid full price. So I can't tell you really more than that. But that is a PS5 pickup. Now I'm going to go into the movies that we picked up thus far to this point. And we'll start off with some that I picked up about a week ago in early Black Friday sales at Best Buys. And we'll start off with the Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg action adventure, Two Guns. And this movie is really cool, really good. I love the dynamic between Denzel and Mark Wahlberg. It's like a heist comedy and, serious action movie. And the price for this movie was only $10. So, being that it was so cheap, it was a no-brainer. It's an excellent movie. Really, really good. And it, it really deserves a spot to be picked up. But, like I said, it's a no-brainer. It's only $10 and the best quality you can get in movies with 4K disc. So, what I'm going to do now is take a quick pause. Now, you may be asking, why you paused? Because I was trying to sort out the movies based on how we picked them up. The next movie we picked up, that I picked up that same week, is the sequel to Shazam, which was a much better movie in my personal opinion, even though it had less action. But for the price they were selling it, with the sleeve included, and, the fact that it came with actual movie, right? Is in 4K, and that is the Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Basically, this was a pickup just to have both movies in the set and the series, since it's still connected to the Snyderverse, but they decided to cut it off, and these will be the last movies that exist based on that universe moving forward. So, just to support it in the sense that I have all the movies connected to the Snyderverse, whether they're good, some are better than others, doesn't really matter. You see, it's a Warner Brother release with the 100 years of Warner Brother. But again, picked up that for $10 that same day that I picked up Two Guns. Then, of course, the next movie I picked up was also the Black Adam with The Rock, also celebrating the 100 years of Warner Brothers. And again, this is also a very decent movie connected to the Snyderverse that souped everybody up with the Henry Cavill cameo appearance, where he made the announcement that he was coming back, and then WWE Warner Brothers stabbed him in the back, did him dirty, just because James Gunn came into the helm, and James Gunn wants to be the star of everything, and completely said, no, we're going to restart everything from scratch, with a different universe, a different everything, but yet he's still going to keep his wife there, Margot Robbie, Amanda Waller's character, and so forth and so forth. So it's a bunch of bullshit, hypocrisy in my opinion. But again, since it connects to the Snyderverse, and it was a decent movie, and in 4K for $10, you can't go wrong. We picked it up to add it to the collection. Then, of course, I end up picking up a great movie classic, in my personal opinion. One of the best performances by Tim Robbins and my brother Morgan Freeman. And that is the classic The Shawshank Redemption. This movie, for me, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was phenomenal. It was so intriguing, so sad, so well written, well acted. So many things where you see the difficulties from even way back when of men being in prison, and in this case unlawfully, and the struggles they have to go through, and the unfairness of the system in general that has been broken in many ways for a long time, even though it's the most fair system there is out there. So, as far as the judicial system, this is only $10. I had to pick it up because I think it's an instant classic, and every time we watch it, and I watch it, I completely enjoy it. So, The Shawshank Redemption. Then, of course, I'm going to put this here, slide this down so y'all don't see that. But anyway, the other one we picked up was Labyrinth. And this is another classic in the vein of Dark Crystal's Never Ending Story, a Jim Henson production with none other than the legend himself, David Bowie, and also the young and ever so non-aging Jennifer Connelly. And this was her starring debut role in one of the biggest roles that she's got, and she debuted in. And that was very many years ago. At this point, David Bowie has passed away. May he rest in peace. But this is a wonderful fantasy family movie, and it was $10. So it was a no-brainer. Added to the collection. It still stands the test of time, and this is the 30th anniversary edition. And you know, as you see, it comes in 2 discs, so it is, official. It's not like it's not. Oh, unfortunately, though, it didn't come with the sleeve. Now, I have here, and this was a recent pickup, meaning just literally a day or two ago. This was early Black Friday release and Black Friday deals. And this is none other than the Illumination Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. This is a 3D version rendition of the story, modernized and updated by the animation house that is starting to be the king of kings right now. They're like the new Pixar, And these are the same people who did Mario Brothers, the movie. So obviously I like the animation. It's in the same style. So we wanted to pick it up. And this movie, again, you see all the features. And it brings the Blu-ray as well. Is also a movie that was only $10. So for $10, 4K, brand new. We still haven't really watched it. It's a no-brainer because it is The Grinch. And it is Illumination, which I really thoroughly enjoyed. The fact that the movie, right, was released by the same people who did the Mario Brothers. Then another Black Friday pickup was Sisu. This movie is fantastic. Very short, not enough action scene because you could tell the budget was smaller, but very well directed, very well crafted, acted, and put together from the people who were involved with John Wick. And the movie is so realistic, raw, edgy, very, very violent, which was fantastic to me. And it supposedly is going to get a sequel. Highly recommended. And Sisu has been expensive this whole time, but we finally found it for the price of $13.99. It's been $35 this entire time. So Sisu, and you see, it is a 4K edition right there. So Sisu, highly recommended. Added to the collection. Moving right along, anybody that knows that this were the Tom Clancy stories, and this is none other than The Sum of All Fears, probably the best one in the entire series from Patriot Games, Hunt for an October, and one more that is 4 movies altogether. And they connect. They're part of the same story. And this one was my favorite because it had the most action. And this is in 4K. It's been $25 or $30 the whole time. And they had it for Black Friday for a whopping $7.99. And you see, the features, what it supports. And this movie was, like I said, a whopping $7.99. So it was a no-brainer added to the collection. And I never really owned it in any other format. And so my son wanted it in the collection, so we picked it up. Then we have probably a guilty pleasure, but none other than the original Howard the Duck. And this was presented by George Lucas. Now, even though this movie is supposed to be kind of funny and goofy for the time, it's still raunchy. It still has some funny moments. And it's still enjoyable for what it is, even though it doesn't represent Howard the Duck the way it should, based off comics. At that point, remember in time, and this movie also has, actors like Lee Thompson and I'm trying to read it, excuse me, which we know from other movies like Back to the Future, that she played the mother of Michael J. Fox. But it's just a funny movie. It says 4-time sharpness, and so it was only $5.99 for Black Friday. That's why we picked it up. So it was a no-brainer, added to the collection. Here's Howard the Duck. This is something my son picked up because it was just released. It was a new release, and that is none other than The Fugitive. And this was a fantastic movie. This was the return of Harrison Ford to the big screen and to cinema since Star Wars, I believe, in a big way. Since he did other movies like The Witness and things of that nature. He was kind of in hiatus, and this kind of brought him back to the map when he started doing a bunch of movies back to back, like Air Force One. When he was stranded with the other girl, I forgot her name. I think it was Anne Heche. But anyway, first time released on 4K, 100-year celebration, and the transfer. Those are the specs. The transfer is from an actual 8K transfer. So it's actually downscaling to 4K. That's what the original transfer was. Then we finally got our hands on the newly released Ghostbusters Afterlife, the actual sequel after part 2. And now they're making part 4. And this movie was really, really good. But it was also really, really expensive. Didn't go down for like a while. It was $35. Finally, they had it for $14.99. So we took, we bit the bullet, and took the dive. And here's what it supports. And got it for $15.99. As opposed to the $35.99. And that is Ghostbusters Afterlife. Then we picked up none other than the Jim Carrey transition or version of Dr. Seuss's The Grinch Stole Christmas. This is the Grinchmas edition. And this is a timeless classic for Christmas time. It was a no-brainer. It was only $10. Jim Carrey's performance as the Grinch is phenomenal. And the little girl in the movie, as well, I forget her name. Those are the features. So it was on sale for $10. So we picked it up and added it to the collection. Then this movie here is really, really good, but very, very short. So I feel it needed more action, but it was very solid. Performance, action-wise, what was there, settings, how it was directed. And it is for the people who did The Quiet Place, which you guys know what The Quiet Place is. It was a phenomenal movie. This was very good. And this movie was also expensive. It was like $32.99 for a long while. Here are the features that it ranged. So then it was on sale for Black Friday for $14.99 or $15.99. Plus they were offering a $3 coupon off. So it was originally like $12.99. So from $32 to $12.99, it was a no-brainer. Picked it up. Now it's part of the collection. And I highly recommend it because it's a good movie. It's called 65. Then this is my son, his guilty pleasures, because he likes horror. He's a big horror buff. He enjoys Jennifer Love Hewitt, and he thinks she's beautiful. And this is I Know What You Did Last Summer. Plus, this is a very good new age hack and slasher movie. And this came right after the veins of movies like The Sixth Sense. So horror was kind of back on the map and very popular. And this is the original one. First time in 4K. It was originally a $30 release, and it was now on sale for $10 in Best Buys for Black Friday, or early Black Friday sales. So we picked it up. There it is. I Know What You Did Last Summer. This was a newly released version of the movie Violent Night, and this was originally released first in Blu-ray. For a while, no 4K, finally announced. This was a new, Tuesday release. And my son picked it up because it's a fantastic action Christmas movie. Also kind of needed to be a little longer, but still was a good movie. With our man from, Stranger Things. And this was also by the house that brought you movies like the John Wick. It's the John Wick people. This is what it brings as far as features. And, Harbour here, David Harbour, plays Santa Claus. That's kind of like done and tired of, Christmas and how people act and how ungrateful they are and how they don't really deserve anything. And the only thing that keeps him going is those kids that still have a good heart and believe in him. And it's actually a really good told story. It's no comedy. It's straight up. It's raw. It's violent. Very different. But I highly recommend it. And this was regularly priced at, $21.99, I believe. Then this was picked up also on a Black Friday early sale. This was from M. Night Shyamalan. Fantastic movie. And this is A Knock at the Cabin. And this is the director's edition, which has its director's cut. And this movie is a very, very different type of movie. Where these people it's the end of the world, and these people go to a cabin, to harass a couple that's gay and adopted a little girl, and they said that God sent them there with the sole purpose of doing certain things because the end of the world is coming in order to prevent it and people dying. And so it's very interesting to take the M. Night Shyamalan touch of, that, oh my God, you didn't see that coming, or surprise ending, or surprise plot point is still there. Fantastic. It was originally $34.99. Now it was on sale for $9.99 for in Black Friday, so it was a no-brainer. Added to the collection. There is the things it comes with, like special features, bonus features, and before we picked it up, added to the collection. And it has a sleeve, which is also a bonus. This was a newly released movie that just came out last week, or this week, I believe, on Tuesday. And this is none other than the TV-made movie for the first time, Steven Spielberg's first movie, The Duel. And this is a really excellent movie, like in the same vein as Wraith, The Car, but this time with this truck that harasses and tries to kill this man driving from one place to another in his vehicle across the desert. And it's got fantastic acting. And this version has the actual theatrical version versus the TV version, with the added footage that they couldn't put in the TV version. Nice commentary by Steven Spielberg. All the features it supports. A wonderful sleeve. And this was $20 or $21.99. So my son loves Steven Spielberg. He wanted to add it to the collection, and here it is. And of course, we're going to do this. Pause again, and we're back. And last but not least, my son picked up How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the original animation that came out many, many times and many, many moons ago on Channel 2, Channel 4. And this is the Ultimate Edition. But it's only available on Blu-ray. Still looks very pristine, very good, because it's an animation. And these are the features that it brings. And this was only, I believe, $5. So he really enjoyed this movie since he was a kid. So he wanted to add it to the collection, and here it is. How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Ultimate Edition, the animation, the classic, the timeless classics. Now, here, last but not least, you guys know what this is. This is a controller I was able to pick up. And you guys are not going to believe how much I paid. But here it is. I picked up, or managed to pick up, a brand new Astro Purple controller from Microsoft and the Xbox Series consoles. Absolutely beautiful color. I wanted this really, really bad. And it's just stunning. As you can see, the nice spine section there where you can see all of the nice photography of the controller and what it brings, which tells you here how and what it's compatible with. And again, the back, you turn it around, has pictures of what the controller looks like in the back and all the features and things that it has and does, which is really par for the course, but nice and wonderful. So I did cut it out to open it up easier, and we'll take a closer look at this beautiful controller, or beautiful color rather. And this is the controller right here in all of its glory. And you can see, turn on the light, how wonderful that purple looks with the blacks. Looks absolutely stunning. With the blacks on top, the mattes, and then the beautiful contrast with the white in the back, which also looks great. And it just looks really, really nice. You can see patterns there on the handles that you hold. And this is a stunning looking controller. It looks absolutely beautiful. And yes, it comes with the battery, which I love. And I'll have this discussion with you guys 1,000 times. And that is, if the controller has batteries, right? If the controller has batteries, then you don't have to worry, right? That if the batteries give out on you, right? The batteries give out on you, you don't have to worry about buying a brand new controller. Because if it's built in, unless you're a computer tech and know or have, experiences with electronics, you're not going to know how to switch it out without damaging it and without, having to spend more money. And that is not something that everyone can do. Casual people that come in the store are just regular casuals, people that buy these things because they want them, but they don't know how to really handle them in the technical sense. So, yes, absolutely give me the batteries, because if the battery wastes, all I gotta do is pay a whopping $10 for a new battery, and I switch it out and we're ready to go, instead of having to buy a whole brand new controller. So the most important thing about this is I got it at Best Buy's with the Black Friday sale for $45. But I also had a coupon with my buildup of rewards of $25. So I got the controller for a whopping $21.54. So as you can know and expect, that is a no-brainer for especially a brand new color wave. I like to collect all the newer colors, so I wasn't going to be asked. You didn't have to ask me twice. I made the move, picked it up, and I paid only $21.54. So there you have it, guys. There was and there has been the Black Friday pickups so far for the He-Bots home, which I tried to get a couple of figures, but I didn't have the bread, so I couldn't do it, couldn't get it, and I missed out. But it wasn't a lot. It was maybe like 1 or 2 figures that I wanted. But again, it wasn't like something that if I didn't get, I was going to die or I was going to miss out really bad. It would be nice to get them, but I couldn't. So it is what it is. I accept it. I'm not going to be mad because I'm still blessed regardless, having all these other wonderful things. And plus I pick up the Grail that I've been looking for a long time. That is not really a figure, but it was a sneaker that I thought I would never get, and I did, and that made me happy, and that was kind of like my early Black Friday, quote-unquote, Christmas gift, quote-unquote, to myself. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it's going to be a little bit long-winded like the other one, but this was an unboxing showing you all our Black Friday pickups. Hopefully you enjoyed it the way I enjoyed making the video. And like I said, it's all in good fun. And you could understand based on the prices why we took the dive and spent. So all this stuff here probably came out to less than $180, even though when you bought it normally, it probably would have been $300, maybe $400. So you can understand why it made sense and why we took the dive. So share this video with someone you think might like it, and give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Give me a thumbs down if you didn't like it. As always, if you're new to the channel, thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it enough that you made the decision to either subscribe or, come back at another time. And remember, if you did, I really appreciate it, because I know you didn't have to, but since you did, it means the world to me, and I consider you now part of my family. As always, you guys know that without your continued support, for those of you that continue to support me, my channel will not be sustained. So for you guys, thank you so much, because like I said, my channel wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. And as for, always, if you guys want to find me on any social media platform, there is a way that you can. It's all down in the description below. Everything from Twitter to Twitch, Instagram, you name it, there it is. You can follow me there. And you guys can, hit me up on DM if you ever want to talk to me, or maybe even perhaps make a donation to the channel, or if you want me to highlight something or review it. I'll be more than glad to, more than willing and very humble to do so. An honor, to be honest. So guys, I'll see you in the next one. Happy Black Friday sales. I hope you find a lot of things. And really quick, if you were curious to know what were the sneakers that I found, I'll give you a quick peek. Because you might not know. If you know, you know. You might not know. So I got none other than the Patrick Ewing Classics, and these are the Sugar Hill Gang edition, where it says Sugar Hill in the back. These are based off the very first big mainstream rap group, which was the Sugar Hill Gang, which was famously known for their song The Rapper's Delight. So if you know, you know, like I said. And these things are beautiful, and I'm glad that I was able to find them, and I got them for a very, very, very good price, because since they were out of print for a long time, a lot of people had them selling them for a very big, overpriced, cost. But that wasn't the case with me. I was lucky, and I was able to pick them up. So yeah, guys, that was the sneaker and grail that I was able to get. So I'm happy. So I'll see you guys soon. Happy Thanksgiving. Love you. Until the next one. Bye bye.